Yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another edition of the ManDem United podcast, where we discuss all things Manchester United. So please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related. Please, people, Manchester United picking up a win versus Chelsea at Old Trafford. Chelsea, yet again, fall short at Old Trafford. But what was the performance level like, people? Do you think it was a poor performance? Do you think it was an average performance? Was it a good performance? Both teams going down to 10 men. Of course, Chelsea went down to 10 men early. Sanchez getting sent off in the 5th minute. Casemiro, two completely avoidable bookings, got him sent off, and then a very, very forgettable second half, people. So that's what we are going to be discussing. But Manchester United picking up an unlikely win is the major talking point. Amorim survives again. But like I said, keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United related, please, people, as well. Apologies on the slight lateness joining over from the raid. Anyone who was locked into A-listers on Don Hassam's channel and anyone who was watching, seeing that Veta and Dyer was arguing, they were still arguing after the show. Like, I filmed it. I think they're still there arguing now. Like, I literally filmed like 2 minutes and just put it in the group chat of them two just debating and going back and forth and arguing. Shit was hilarious. I need to add an A-listers playlist on the channel. But big up to everyone who's joined over from the raid on Hassam's channel. Big up to everyone who's already here. Big up to anyone who's watching this back after. Hit the like button on the video. It's so important you do that. Please hit the like button on the video. When you enter the city of sarcasm, you pay the tax, people. Or if you live here, pay the tax. Hit the like button on the video. Make sure you share this out across all of the socials as well. Make sure you do that too. Let me actually, where is it? Hold up. So you lot can see my name on the screen and everything. You see it right there. Yes, it's flawless at Sarcasm City TV. At Sarcasm City TV. Yes, it's flawless. Twitter, Instagram, and also just as important as those two things, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell as well. Big up Vikran in the cut. Big up King in the cut. Big up big up Tahaha in the cut. Man called me. Shout out to Sunshine every single time as well. So you lot saying. And to keep, yo, man, don't worry about it, man. You just need to get the Glock some bullets. That's all. Just need to get the Glock some bullets. It feels like a minute since I've done a ManDem United. Obviously, you normally get these earlier on in the day, but family first, I had some family stuff to do, so that's why. But you lot get your questions into any of the Chelsea lot. If you lot got any Chelsea questions, even though it's a ManDem United, let me know. Or thoughts on the game. Floor's yours. Big up to King, like I said. Big up Vikran as well. Let's see what you lot are saying. To Vikran, who says, I'm surprised United fans didn't try and find all the positives out of the Chelsea game like they usually do. Because it was terrible. That's why, Vikran. That's why. Even Manchester United fans who were super positive and want to back the manager and back the team, like, even when there is nothing to back, even they've had it up to here, because that was a golden opportunity. Scratch that. That was a platinum opportunity for Manchester United to absolutely batter Chelsea. That could have been 4 or 5. If we would, and when I say that, I'm not talking about how the game went. I'm talking about how Manchester United should have approached it after the red card. The positives is we actually started off very well. We started off very well, moving the ball around, short, crisp passing, intent, purpose, movement, and then even the red card and how that came about. I was going to say Vikran buying this, smart, kicked it long to Sesko, who's good in the air and is 6'5". And then you have pace around him. Sesko flicks it onto Bremo, and Sanchez comes out and clatters in Bremo, red card. And now you have a man advantage and you're in a great situation already. But then soon after the goal, it was terrible. I thought it was horrendous, that first half. After Bruno scored, I thought it was absolutely awful. Like, if somebody didn't tell you that Manchester United had a man up, you wouldn't have known. And that's very, very telling. It's very, very telling. That's where the issue lies right there. You're supposed to be able to forget the graphic. So let's say you started watching that game 15 minutes in and you don't have the commentary on and there's no red card on the screen to show. You wouldn't know Manchester United have got a man up. You might think Manchester United are being the more dominant team and a more aggressive team, and like Chelsea are playing poor. And you might notice like certain attackers ain't on you, but you wouldn't know we had a man up. Did we pepper the goal? How many saves did Jorgensen make? In particular, I'm talking about the first half, people. How many clear-cut chances did we create, and how many saves did Jorgensen make? From, let's say, yeah, we'll go from the red card up until halftime, so for 40 minutes, and whatever added on time was on. Yeah, we got one tomorrow, Eddie, but if you want, I'll send you the link now. Let me know. But there's one tomorrow early, 4:30 p.m. UK time. But if you want in, I dropped a message in the group chat about it earlier, but let me know. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. You should be peppering the goal. Once a team goes down to 10 men, and they was there to do so, and we did none of that. No, it's ridiculous. The ball going long. Why is the ball in the air? It's easier to defend against when the ball is just in the air. And I'm not talking about when you're at the byline or level with the box and you're putting in good crosses, because you can put in low crosses that flash in front, behind the defense and in front of the goalkeeper, like in the 6-yard box. Or you can put in high crosses doing that. Or if you're level with the box, you can put crosses into the back post. You can put crosses into the middle. I'm talking about in our own half. Or I'm talking about just like 35, so 30, 35, 40 yards from goal. And you're doing big diagonals. Why are you trying to switch out diagonals? Play the ball short. You have a man up. Play the ball short. Left to right, right to left. And the chances will, because they will get tired. And then they'll snap into tackles. And then that then increases the chances of another man getting sent off. And if you do that for 15, 20 minutes, then we're under no pressure. You have 5th minute, you have 85 plus minutes to do so. Game management, and it wasn't just one player. They all did it. Ahmad did it. Bremo did it. Bruno did it. Casemiro did it. Who else? Shaw did it. It was only really Delit that I can think of. And Maguire, Maz, and I'm sure if I go watch it back, they probably do. Like, I don't get it. Yeah, we're playing hot potato football with it. Like, I'd understand trying to, like, all right, we got to switch it out. If it's 11 versus 11. Like, this is it. If it's 11 versus 11. Like, what are we doing? Hey, Jason, where you been the last couple of weeks? That's what I want to know. Where have you been the last couple of weeks? How come I haven't seen you this entire month? Let me know. That's what I want to know. Why have I not seen you this entire month? I actually hope everything's good as well. I hope it's nothing serious and the family and loved ones is all good and everything. But why have I not seen you this month? So you just been so you've been working the entire month, but once we win, you just happen to be back. All right, sure, okay, all right. I believe you, Jason. I believe you. Yeah. Okay. Notice that, people. But anyways, as I was saying, there's people I haven't seen in time. Shout out to who super chatted yesterday. Who super chat? Oh, I forgot his name. Chef. Chef's another one. You know what I'm saying? Chef's another one. We played shit, but we won. So therein lies my issue then, Jason. We played shit, but we won. So I'm happy about the win. I'm unhappy at the fact we played shit. So how is it nothing's going to make, don't play shit against 10 men? How about that? How about that? Is that too much to ask for, Jason? Is playing shit against, don't play shit against 10 men? This is the type of thing man has to deal with. Nah, the thing is, I ain't even gonna cook anyone, Joseph. I want to hear the analysis from people like Jason and Chef and others. You're not lucky I don't have time to go back in the archives this from this summer past and go and pull it up. I just want the analysis. Like, I want to be told where it's gone wrong. What hasn't happened that you expected to happen? Because Chef ran out pretty quick. He just told me that if Cunha doesn't link up with Sesko, he's dead. But we knew it was a possibility that Sesko wasn't going to link with it. Like, that's it. That's it. Jason, no, bro, but I'm enjoying the win. I've enjoyed the win too. You said I've not enjoyed the win. You've not been here because you've been working, like you said, so you don't know my thoughts on this. I've only been just gone live like 10 minutes. So you don't know things I've said prior to this because you've not been here. So don't guess, ask. Well, again, people just assume. Well, he admits we played shit, but I shouldn't concentrate on that and just enjoy the win. Nah, I'm different. I'm different. That's it. But hey, each to their own, man. Each to their own. But as I was saying, where was it? Where was I at? Yeah, the ball was all in the air. Sky. I mean, all in the air, all up in the sky. All up in the sky. Why? 10 men. Put them to the side, and you could see they was rattled in regards to how they was talking to the ref. That game should have been over long before Casemiro even got the second yellow, which I'll get to in a second. But the ball in the air, and that comes from decision making. And to Jason's point about the manager, this is where them things get dispelled. I blame the players more for the performance than I do the manager. I said the same about Grimsby, and I'm saying the same about this game. That I hold the players more. No, this is it the same. Yeah, the same. I hold the same way I hold the players accountable against Grimsby, like 95%, I would say. I hold them 95% for this performance as well. I have not crashed on Amorim for this performance. You know why? Because I expect nothing from him. So because I expect nothing from him and I know he's a terrible manager, I know what you are going to give me. It's like Mason Mount getting on the pitch and I expect him to create. I know Mason Mount's not going to create. That's why I don't criticize his performances heavily. I point it out and say he shouldn't be on the pitch, but I'm not heavily critical of Mason Mount for not creating and not scoring because he don't do that. And he doesn't have the capabilities to do that. Same way Amorim doesn't have the capabilities to manage. So yes, isn't that on the players? Oh, I just wanted you to hold. So ask me then, Jason. So why assume? Let me ask you a question, Jason. When have I not held the players accountable? When have you heard me talk and we've lost any game and I've not been critical of them? I've not been critical of players. Please tell me when this happened because I missed this live stream or this match reaction. Someone can pull up a match reaction right now where I don't criticize the players. I'll send you a bank transfer of any money amount you want. Because if you was here, Jason, you would know this about Grimsby. If you had watched, if you had heard my match reaction, if you had watched, did I do a watch along for that? Yeah, I did do a watch along. The watch along for that. What are we doing out here? Please, people need to stop grouping in all content creators as one and actually pay attention to what's being said. Because there's nowhere that no one can ever tell me I am not critical of players. Whether it's players I rate or players I don't rate. And I've said this, and if people was here, notice how people are missing when Manchester United have gone on a bad run and now they've won a game, they popping back up. Just take notice of that, people. Just take a mental note. Because after Carnival, I ain't see many people. You was here talking the most. And don't worry, man, I'm going to go back in the archives when I got time. It might be the next international break. It might be the international break after that. It might be next year. It might be the summer next season. It might be a summer series. Call it Reading Receipts. I'm going to get a whiteboard and get the stick and write shit down and be like, well, you said this and watch the video. You know what I'm saying? Because people was talking a lot in the comments. A whole heap of rubbish. And guaranteed if I was wrong, they would have been here. Running man got their track shoes on. It's crazy. Track shoes. Man are always busy and got stuff to do when United are losing, but we win. Miraculously, they're here. All right. Sure. Imagine I did that. What would the conversation be? What would it? Exactly, Jason, I have. So why would you say that then? That's what I don't understand. You know I have, because we've had conversations about players. But back to the situation at hand as well. Anyway, I don't expect nothing from Amorim. So that's more so on the players. Someone mentioned Bremo. I think he's been terrible since he's got here too. I think he's a good player, but I think he's been terrible this season. I think Amorim's been, not Amorim, I think Ahmad's been terrible too. But where was I at? Back to the game. Yeah, the ball being in the air. As for Casemiro, just complete stupidness. Both yellow cards. The first yellow card people are not mentioning because obviously the second yellow is the challenge that got him sent off. And I don't think it's a foul. I don't think it. But the first yellow card, stupid challenge on João Pedro. Why? He's in the Chelsea half he's side on going towards the byline. Why are you flying in? And then the second one, two things. One, I actually don't think it's a foul. Two, I don't think it's a yellow card. Well, that goes hand in hand because if I don't think it's a foul, of course I don't think it's a yellow card. But you give the referee a decision. The same way I hold the players more accountable than I do Amorim, I hold the players more accountable than I do officials because I know officials are terrible. I know the VAR and that's not VAR because it's a yellow card, but I know officials make bad decisions. Why don't you stay on your feet? Stay on your feet. Santos is going nowhere. Like, what are we doing out here? And to AD, who says these players get way too much criticism. They ain't all that bad. Hoyland, McTominay, Fred, Alanga, Rashford, Anthony are all cooking in their new teams. The coach and the system are the issue. I disagree with this whatsoever in regards to the players getting too much criticism. They perform poorly here, so you got criticized here. If I work somewhere and that workplace doesn't have the best possible platform, but I underperform, I am going to get criticized. Now, if I go elsewhere to another company and I succeed, they're going to praise me. But the bosses at my previous job don't care. No. And cooking is a stretch. Let's just clarify that. Hoyland, I'm not sure. McTominay, I can't comment on. Fred, I can't comment on. Alanga's not cooking either. Anthony, I don't know how many games he's played. But I can say for sure Alanga is not cooking at Newcastle. That's just incorrect. Newcastle have struggled all season long. What are we doing out here? What we do? How many games have Newcastle won? They won one match or 2 games. All right, so yes, Alanga is not cooking. No, let's clarify that. I thought he played well to a level against Barcelona. That's it. Ask Newcastle fans about him. But people are going to go over the top. And also as well, not all players are built for the Manchester United spotlight. People underestimate that as well. People severely underestimate playing for Manchester United. We heard, man mentioned Anthony. We heard what Anthony said. If you haven't heard what Anthony said, he spoke. I'm paraphrasing, but he spoke about the pressures at Manchester United and said how, what was it? He didn't want to come out of his room. He didn't want to eat. And you lot can go search this up and check the sources and stuff like that. Yeah, he didn't want to eat because I can't remember who reported it. But you lot, like I said, can go check. And then he went to Betis and balled out. Cool, you suit La Liga. You suit Real Betis. Because if he performs poorly at Real Betis, no one's commenting on it. You know why? Because it's Real Betis. And there's no expectation of them, respectfully. Respectfully. But hey, we move. But where was I at? Yeah. Long. Oh yeah, shout out to Karma as well. Karma, sorry, I forgot to say blessings. Hope you're good. Hope you're good. Yeah, cooking. Man said cooking. Yeah, see how man change it. Being solid and cooking is 2 different things. This is why words matter and we can't go over the top. You can say, yeah, he's playing solid. I would have went Fez. But cooking, no. The others I can't comment on. I've not watched Rashford like that. Fred, McTominay, Anthony. You know why? Because they don't play for Manchester United. And they're not in the Premier League, so I don't really care. I wish them all, I'll go one further. I wish them all nothing but the best. I wish them all nothing but the best. The problem is the narrative always changes after the Arsenal game. We lost but played well, but people still said we didn't win. Why is it about performances now? I don't know who said this, but in regards to it, I'm in the minority. I don't think we played well against Arsenal. Go check my match reaction. I got pelters for that. Cool. Secondly, as well, it's about both for me. So I can do, let me just clarify this, because I know everybody in the chat, some people are new here, which is fine. Some people don't know my views here, which is fine. You lot, I know we'll talk about what other content creators have said. What's the conversation on social media? What's the conversation on mainstream media? I'm cool with that. You lot are confused about anything, ask me, that's fine. But yeah, just to clarify, I don't think we played well against Arsenal, and it's about both. You can get results and good performances. Manchester United staff and employees are good enough to not only get good results, but also put in good performances. I expect both. One without the other is not good enough. Let me just say that again. I say that. Slow that down for everyone. One without the other is not good enough and is unacceptable to me. So I am always going to crash on Manchester United for that. If we win games and perform poorly, I will celebrate the wins, but I will talk about the poor performance. If we perform well but don't get results, I'll praise performances, but I will criticize for results. Go and get both, because we are capable of getting both. Why is it one or the other? And this is what I'm talking about. Why is it one or the other? Never have I had these conversations before. Never ever. Where it's like, all right, so we put in a good performance, but the results is like, no, I want both. So no narratives over here. Just wanted to say that. But Cunha he's a baller, Cunha, by the way. Baller. And I've actually watched 4 games of Barcelona. Rashford hasn't been cooking. Most people talking about Rashford ain't watching them against Espanyol, or watching them against Levante, or watching them against Sociedad, or watching them against Betis, are watching them against Rayo Vallecano. Let's be really real. Same way most ain't watching Napoli versus Atalanta, or Napoli versus Bari, or Napoli versus pick any team. I don't even know who's in Serie A like that. Or you lot get my overall point. I don't even know what league Fred's in. What league is Fred in? Shouts to Fred, but what league? But yeah, no one's watching Napoli Como, Napoli Cagliari. But all right. Well, we move. Let's see. Yeah, we got. I think it was the average performance, but happy with the win. White take off Sesko unless you bring on Xerxes to hold the ball up. If United are going to kick it long, because our manager's just not very bright, Jared. That's why. If you are going to kick the ball long, keep on your 6'5" centre forward. But you're kicking it long to Ahmad and Bremo, later on Mount, later on Cunha. No wonder we had 27% possession in the second half. Right. Arsenal game looked a bit better because Arteta is the same kind of idiot as Amorim, sticks to his ideas despite everything. Any manager that adapted to United system has rolled us over. Hence why I complain about performances, because performances are an indication of where you're at in regards to sustainability. If you can, there's no team who consistently puts in good performances but gets bad results. Hear what I'm saying, I'll say that again. There's no team in the Premier League that consistently puts in good performances and gets bad results. If you put in good performances, it averages out more often than not to get good results. You put in bad performances, you get bad results. So hence why, even if we're putting in bad results and we're putting in bad performances and getting good results, I'm like, all right, we got the result here. Is the performance sustainable? No, because eventually you get found out. Hence why we're 2-5. Hence why we're 2-5. Hence why how many times have we played well? Outside of, I give people the Arsenal game, cool. Outside of Arsenal, what other game have we played well for? Not even a full 90, because people will say we played well full 90, but 70, 80 minutes. Someone tell me. Across all competitions, take the Arsenal game out of it. What games have Manchester United played well in? For the large proportion. So we'll say 70 minutes, 80 minutes. Someone tell me. Tell me. Let me know. What's going on? Brighton usually play well, but they're not doing too good. Did Brighton hit their targets? Does their manager hit their targets? Brighton, overall. Does their manager hit their targets? I'm talking more so last season because we're 5 games in. I'm just pulling this up now. Tell me. Does their manager hit their targets? Does anyone think Brighton are not going to finish where their aim is, which is 8th, 9th? Bear in mind, Brighton, I thought they were really good. I don't think they was good against Spurs, actually. Let me clarify that. I thought he was awful against, not awful against Spurs, but they were poor against Spurs. That's what I'd say. I can only go off what I've watched them. I thought they were very good against City in particular, the second half. Can't talk about the Bournemouth game. Everton, I didn't watch. And the Fulham game, they conceded a last-minute equalizer. So it's kind of around right for Brighton. Yeah. Like, what are we doing here? Liverpool isn't performing, not playing well yet. They are leading. What's your take? Their quality shining through, but then performances are unacceptable too. Ask a Liverpool fan if they're happy about the performances. There's an expectation they'll get better. I think they'll get better. But if they perform like this for the rest of the season, they're not going to win the league. That's my point. They continue. This is why it links into the Brighton thing. If Liverpool carry on performing like this for the entire season, they're not winning the Premier League and they're not winning the Champions League. So they are going to fall short of their 2 biggest targets. They might pick up an FA Cup or a League Cup. Hence why there's an expectation that they will get better. Find me a Liverpool fan that's happy with Liverpool's performances. Don't worry, I'll wait. Someone tell me, please. Yes, exactly. Brighton are going to finish round about where Brighton should finish. There's no results you really look at in the first 5 and go, oh yeah, that's a real bad one. Everton at home, yes. Bournemouth are around their level. They should have beat Fulham. They conceded their last-minute equalizer. They beat Manchester City. City are a better side to them, so that's a plus. Should have beat Spurs because of the situation they're in, because they was 2 goals up. Well, the point is I'm making they're 8th, 9th club. Depends where you have Brighton, to be honest. I have them like top 10. So they going to finish round about top 10. To clarify, they're 2 points off 10th. Well, they're 2 points off 9th, actually. Only 3 points off 6th. But hey, that's a whole different conversation. Monty is not happy with Liverpool's performances. You know that's my G, right? Where has Monty said that he's happy? Because I can ring Monty right now and ask him. Monty is not happy with Liverpool's performances. What are we talking about here? Happy? No. Happy they're winning? Yes. Happy with their performances? No. What are we doing? What is going on? All this and see people. All this to defend the manager at Manchester United Football Club who's not good enough. We spoke about Brighton. We spoke about Liverpool. And everything that gets asked me, I debunked because it's a consistent pattern. There we go. Wait, Monts was not happy with Liverpool. Monts was not happy with Liverpool performances. I was on his watch along on second half. He was fuming. What we doing here? Him saying he don't care and him saying he's happy is 2 different things. What are we doing here? If I say I'm in a relationship and you ask me, Jason, and say, oh, what's going on with you and your girl? I don't care about it. Does that mean I'm happy in a relationship? What's going on in a relationship? I don't care about it. He said he don't care. Exactly. He don't care. That does not mean he's happy. Okay, people forget that I talk to Liverpool fans outside of here as well. Not happy. That's why they say if they were happy, they wouldn't be saying these 2 things. They want the performances to get better and they expect the performances to get better. If you're happy with it. If they're happy, let me repeat that again. If they're happy with their performances, they wouldn't say those 2 things. That they want the performances to get better and they expect them to get better. They are falling below levels right now. But they are getting the job done. But is their level of performance sustainable? No. Does anyone in the chat think if Liverpool carry on like this, they're going to win the Premier League and Champions League with the performance levels? All right. Exactly. All this, again, Warrior J, to defend the manager who is just clearly not good enough. Rather than say, hey, we won the game, but the performance was poor, because it was shocking. Let's be really real. It was. We was up a man and we didn't pepper the goal. That's more so on the players. Don't get misunderstood, but that's my expectation of the manager is so low that I expect nothing from him. We could face 9 men and I don't expect him to do anything. I don't expect him to do anything. Repeat, what selective wording? Repeat that. What? I'm lost, Jason. Are you talking about me? Are you talking about months? Like, let me know. Words mean things. That's why you'll hear me pause, look up in the sky, go, and stuff like that. And that's why I pay attention to what people say. Same way man said earlier in the chat that Alanga's cooking. Then we pointed out Newcastle's form, and it's like Alanga's been solid. So he's not been cooking then. So stop going over the top to try and make a point. And stop acting like Alanga's an elite level player. I think Alanga's a good Premier League level player. If you are trying to finish 7th or lower, Alanga's cool. If you're playing, because of his pace and the attributes he has, if you get him in the right system, he can cook for you to an extent. You watch, what's his face doing? Nuno? Or with City, Liverpool, or Arsenal? I actually never know with Arsenal. Yeah. Of course. But we move. Of course, you select different words to make different statements. Exactly. Make different words to make different statements. Exactly that. AD, that's a whole different question for Florian Wirtz. That's their lookout. But where was I at? Run up the likes. That's where I was at. Because we're only at, 27 likes. You lot are taking a piss. 27 likes. What in the conversion rate is this? Run up the damn likes. How many subscribers we on? Let me have a look. Road to 16K, man. Run up the likes. Hit the subscribe button. We're at 15,750 subscribers. 5 more subs. 5 more subscribers. Get us to 15,755. That's just the way people like try to over embellish. I always pull people up on that. Always try to pull people. Oh, such and such is cooking. Nah, he's playing decent. All right, we'll say that then. Acting like they're not two very different things. But hey, we move. Like the whole happy. Oh, he's happy with the performances. Well, he said he don't care. Not the same thing. What's the price tag excuse? You're gonna have to enlighten me. What's the price tag excuse? Are you concerned about Ahmad recently flawless? Yeah, Ahmad's been poor. But I'm concerned about everybody. Because he was one of our bright sparks last season. And now he just seems like flat. Feels like us, man. Like there's no spark to his game. Like low on confidence. It's a drag playing. Everything you would expect it to be miserable, man. So Manchester United will be a miserable place to play at. I wouldn't want to play. Genuinely. I would not want to play. So his performance is dipping, even though he needs to do better because he has the ability to. Like, his drop-off is not a surprise to me. Same way, Mbremo's start is not a surprise. If Cunha all of a sudden drops off, or if De Ligt drops off, or Euro drops off, or even if bad players get worse. Let's say Bruno gets worse, or Bosesco don't play, or I'm trying to think. Dogu gets worse, like whoever. Maz gets worse. And just start, let's say Maz just starts for the next 2 months. I hope this don't happen. I hope it don't. Like the next 2 months just starts making mistakes. I'd be mad about it. I'd be like, you need to do better, but it wouldn't be a surprise. Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, no, I wouldn't say Ahmad's gone selfish, no. I wouldn't say that. I think Ahmad's just not, he's just not executing right and just not doing nothing right. Not doing nothing right. Left 10 don't help. But yeah. Where was I at? Back to the game, as I was saying. Well, you lot continue to get your questions in as well, because that's what makes these shows. Where was I at? Can't even get to it. Yeah. Ball always being in the air against Chelsea. And then, you know what's crazy? How Chelsea got the ball back for Casemiro to get that second yellow was Ahmad kicking the ball long. Why is the ball always in the sky? Because it makes it easier for defenders to deal with, because not only can the defender contesting the aerial duel get set, the defenders around him can get set. So if it's me, and let's say, I don't know who's in the chat, Vikran are playing centre-back at any level, and the ball's kicked long, and Vikran goes to contest it, and we can see it on its way. Not only can Vikran get set to go and contest the header, I can then sweep. The 2 fullbacks then sweep. Maybe a 1 or 2 of DMs drop in and it sweeps. That is. Jason is everything with Ahmad. I've not analyzed this game like that, to be honest. I've not analyzed this game to know if it's being too selfish or not. I've personally not seen it watching him, no. I just think we're bad all over. I'd be here from this time next week if I started analyzing every player individually and what they do wrong. Because a lot goes wrong. Hell of a lot. We barely do anything right. Well, Vikran, to my point is, I'm terrible aerially too. You black, you know we don't like heading the football. The point is I'm making, even if you lose the header, it gives me chance to sweep. I can get set to sweep. One thing I can do, because I don't like completing for the ball, that was my entire game. When I'm playing DM 11 aside, that was my entire game. I was the DM who sweeps in front of the back 4. If the fullback's got a tricky winger, I go and double up, right back or left back. I'm the one where if one of the centre-back goes to contest the header, like in midfield or higher up, I'm the one who sweeps. Love when the ball's in the air. I do that in real life. Same with pro clubs. I love when the opposition puts the ball in the air. Allows me to get set, etc., etc. I love it. That's why I tell my team, you'll keep the ball on the deck. Because it's harder to defend against. And it's like that in games. It's like that at Saturday League, Sunday League level. And it's like that at the elite level. Unless you got beasts in the air, that's a whole different thing. If that's your game plan, that's a whole different thing. Like if you've got Barnes and Wood in your team for Burnley, then that makes sense. But the point I'm making is we do not. And you're playing against 10 men, change it. Change it. If you're playing against 10 men, change the shit. What are we doing? But back to what I was saying. Ahmad's kicked the ball long. They've got it back. Then the ball's gone forward with Santos, and then Casemiro's been sent off. Even though Casemiro stupid challenge, Ahmad terrible decision making. And it wasn't just Ahmad, by the way, because they all kicked it long. And I was fuming, and then Casemiro, we go down to 10 men, and then we in a game. Poor performance. Second half was even worse. That's where Amorim kicked in. When I say where Amorim kicked in regards to, so the plan is to go long and you take off Sesko. So who you kicking the ball long to? Like, who you kicking the ball to? Please tell me who's contesting for headers outlet, and that's why we had 27% possession. Unfortunately enough for us, Maresca is the reason we won that game. He's the main reason we won that game was Maresca. Yeah, but hey, here we are. Yeah, we move. Ruben Amorim ain't the problem. Why are we the same points as Chelsea and 3 points away from Arsenal? Because they've both underperformed as well. That's why. Find me Chelsea fans that actually I can't say because there is them toxic positive fans, but I'll say this: multiple Chelsea fans and multiple Arsenal fans are unhappy. That's why you got Arsenal fans calling Arteta a coward. That's why you've got Chelsea fans who are Maresca out. This is why you've got Arsenal fans crashing on certain players. You have Chelsea fans crashing on certain players. And to flip it, we're also 4 points off relegation. So, pick out what you want to pick out. People want to look at the table after 5 games. Hey, tells you all you need to know, man. People do so. Thank you for people do conveniently play it out. So yeah, here we are. You said City fans. I didn't say City. Go watch Javon's recap final whistle podcast. Go watch Matisse's match recap and go watch Lewis's match recap. Just go watch them 3. Go watch Carefree Lewis G. Go watch Matisse Armani and go watch the final whistle recaps. And tell me they're happy. We're not 9th place, AD. We're not in 9th. I think you need to go check the table again. But I don't know why people are looking at the table in 5 games in. Like, what does it mean? Like, I'm looking at performances and results from a Manchester United perspective. Have the results been good? No. Have the performances been good? No. Not in my opinion. So there we go. I see fans calling out Pep. Maybe they are. I don't talk to a lot of them. So maybe they are. But that's my point. But shout out to Maresca because he helped to eat. Shout out to Maresca because he helped us massively in the game. And this is why, like I said, crushing Amorim. Win the game, lose the game, draw the game. Like, not good enough. And folks, thankfully for us, Maresca performed absolutely horrendously in the game. But hey, we move. Continue to run up the likes. How many we on? Only at 35, man. Girls up to 50 likes, people. Have we had any new subscribers as well? 5 more subscribers. So we're looking for 15 more likes and 5 more subscribers. That's 5 more subscribers and 15 more likes, people. Get your questions in also. Flawless, you know me, I was never pep out, but I criticize him heavily. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you do criticize when you feel it's the same. I mean, when you feel it's justified. He panicked against Amorim, your worst Man United manager, and he panicked. This is the worst manager. This manager's win rate is worse than the manager who was relegated. That's the craziest part. Still on average, he wins 1 game a month. Because he beat Burnley, which was August, and then he's beat Chelsea, which is September. So here we are. But hey, we move. Child, you've asked me this before. Okay, this is a big if. If Amorim wins the FA Cup and gets top 4, would you change from being Amorim out to Amorim in? Do you believe you can win the FA Cup and get top 4? That's my question to you. Do you believe he can win the FA Cup and get top 4? So have we been performing better over the past 5 years? And question to you, expect us to play like prime Barcelona with 4 new players? Where did I say that we're gonna play like prime Barcelona with 4? When did I say I expect us to play like prime Barcelona? Where did I say that? Don't hit me with it's a possibility. Do you believe it? Yes or no? Do you believe he is capable of doing that? Do you believe Amorim's capable of finishing top 4 and winning the FA Cup? AD, I'm not asking you. I'm asking Chow. Yes. Okay. What's your top 4? What's your predict? Do I have your predictions? I'm gonna go check. I might have it. I might not. What's your predicted top 4? Scratch that. Top 6. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. What's your predicted top 6? Don't worry, I'll wait. Don't ask me no daft. So why would you ask me that question? That's what I don't understand. I'm all for people asking questions. But if you ask me something that doesn't make sense, I'm going to question it. You ask me a reasonable question, I go, okay. And I don't get about the past 5 years part either. I'm lost. What does that have to do with anything? We've not performed well for a long, long time to answer that part of the question. But I don't see how that has bearing on now. Hence why I called out all the previous managers. Called out Ten Hag, and it's documented on there. Called out Oli, and it's documented on there. Mourinho, actually, there might be a couple members videos for the members where we was talking about Mourinho. Shout out to my bro Tox, Views from the Dugout. Because before we was a sporting podcast channel. So there might be some Mourinho conversation there. Maybe. Called out Van Gaal. Obviously, you lot won't know. Because it's before I was on radio and before I was doing this. So that's longer than 5 years, but I'm just saying that to say the point. Yes, because so what does complaining about the performances now have to do with 5 years ago? We can have different opinions, Flawless. This shouldn't be an echo chamber, mate. We can have difference in opinions. I don't understand your point, AD. Again, when you lot lose me, I'm going to say I don't understand. Like, I don't understand this. I'm here, been here almost 50 minutes, going back and forth with you. If I think you're wrong, I'm going to tell you I think you're wrong, but I don't even know exactly what you're talking about. I'm lost. All right, so Charles, so Liverpool, City, Arsenal, United. So you think we're a better side than Chelsea and a better side than Spurs? Okay. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, you criminal for that. You're lucky you're my G still. You're lucky you're lucky you're my G. But no, I'm just here to tell you, Charles Zeno, no, we're not finishing top 4 or winning the FA Cup. Just to clarify. So how would you like a rebuild to happen? You think it will take time or it can happen quick? What was the 5 years about? That's what I want to know. Because you lot be reaching. Because you lot have nothing. Because this is what happens when you debate people who back Amorim. Because they have nothing of substance to back it up with him because he don't do nothing. They start talking about things that have nothing to do with nothing. I'm still lost at the 5 years. What does the last 5 years of performances have to do with Amorim? Please explain that one to me. I'm lost. I want to know the way of thinking. I want to know that. But to Chow, I've made this clear, not to you, but to everyone. I ain't dealing with no stupid hypotheticals. That's plain and simple. FA Cup and a top 4 for a manager who can't win back-to-back games in the league. All right. With a manager that has a 25% win rate in the league, to a manager that has the worst win percentage of any Manchester United since World War II. For a Manchester United manager who has a worse win percentage than the manager who got us relegated. Can't win back-to-back games, but it's going to finish top 4 and win the FA Cup. All right, man. Okay. And Garnacho's going to be the highest goal-scoring winger in the league. Imagine I said that. That's the type of what we're talking about. All right, man. Okay. If we haven't been playing well for 5 years, means the teams need a rebuild. Would you agree? Yes. The team needs a rebuild. Yes. The team needs a 100%. What's that got? So why pick 5 years? I'm still lost. Yes, I want better players, but I'm still lost. Please make it make sense. When Amorim does leave, what type of manager do you want at Manchester United, and what formation would you like the club to play? Formation, I'm not really fussed about. I want a manager who's now, because of the situation we're in, a manager who's managed in the Premier League, because I don't want it to be caught out by not only the pace of the game and the things you need to be successful, but also the media circus surrounding it. Like, they don't understand that the amount of interviews, there's lights in your face all of the time. You are in the Premier League in particular at Manchester United. It's this. There's a light in your face, and there's a camera in your face, and there's a mic in your face. Everywhere you go, it's lights. It's literally lights, camera, action. It's literally lights, mic, action everywhere you go, man. Everywhere you go. Literally. Oh, wait, by the way, off topic, shout out for you to doing the takeover twice at Sunshine Channel. Yeah, Sunshine's my people's, and she went about, so I'm always do that for her all the time. I got her back because I know she do the same for me as well. And she did some work for the channel also. So we doing some new intros and backgrounds and all that stuff. So we just dotting all the I's and crossing all the T's. The same Garnacho who can't come on, and Enzo chose Evil Soccer who was going to leave. That's my point, child. That's my point. What we doing out here? If I said Garnacho can be the highest goal scoring winger in the league, is the same as saying is as ridiculous as saying that Amorim can finish top 4 and win the FA Cup when he can't even win back-to-back games in the league. Okay, all right. See, Leicester won the league. The league is unpredictable. Man have to reach to the 1 in a million. I get it. I hear it, man. I hear it. But yeah, where else we at? Where, Jason, where you at? What was you saying? Because I'm still lost at the 5 years. I still don't get that point. Bear in mind, I know I didn't do it today. I have a fan calling show, so it's open for anybody to call in. This is the last thing. This is the echo chamber because I've had so many debates with people. I notice how these people only pop back up when United have won. Notice that. Might have been missing. Just saying. So will it take time or can it happen quickly? Because I'm interpreting you want us to play perfect. Hence why you saying calling out a performance when you know we haven't been good for over 5 years now. So don't interpretate. Ask. Ask me. No. Again, nowhere I've said I want us to play perfect. I want us to play well. I want us to put in more often than not good performances. That's all. Don't interpretate. Don't assume. Ask. Same way I ask you lot. Like, what are we doing out here? But who cares about performances? It's all about the results. Name a team that's had sustained success with poor performances. AD. Name a team in the Premier League that has had sustained success that has had poor performances in the history of the Premier League. So go back, I don't know how old you are, AD, but we'll go back to 92. We'll go back, I'm not sure. You could be my age, you could be younger, you could be older. When did they have poor performances over a sustained period of time? Please tell me when that happened. When was City poor over a sustained period? Sustained, people. That's the key word in that sentence. In that question, I should say. Sustained. Rebuild includes getting the manager right. Would you agree, Flawless? Oh, yes, I would agree. That's not sustained. That's one season. Sustained. Sorry, sustained success is not one season. Yeah, Chow, you just trolling. Big up, Chow. Chow just trolling. Big up, man. Shout out Arteta for the back-to-back 8th place finish. Sustained success. For those that don't know, just go Google define sustained success. And it's much more than 1 year. What are we doing out here? Sustained. Name me a team. Because I want Manchester United to have sustained success, people. Because I grew up on Manchester United having sustained success and winning trophies. Not every year, but we was competing for trophies more often than not and winning trophies more often than not. You ain't going to win everything every year, no. That's impossible. But give yourself the best possible platform to succeed. And yes, the rebuild, it does include, to Canal's point, yes, I do agree, that includes getting the manager right. You can't have a good rebuild without it. Who hasn't won the league in 21 years? Who? I'm lost. Ciao. Ciao, you've lost me again. If we can scam a league, I'm here for it. Look at Leicester. If the field's weak, yes. But I don't think this field is weak. Or was it Arsenal? Okay. I'm lost then. You're talking about sustained success with Arsenal. I'm lost, ciao. You've lost me again. All right, please. And when I say that, that's because I'm genuinely confused. And I don't presume or interpretate things. I'll ask you, like, what do you mean by that? Just to clear it up for me further so I actually respond to what you're saying. Yeah, lost me, man. Ciao. Lost me. Completely. I have no idea what you're talking about, but big up. You trolling. But yeah, to AD, that's who I asked the question. Name me the team. We ain't getting off this. You said, bro, who cares about performance? It's all about results. Name the team that has had sustained success with poor performances in the Premier League. Yeah, I know you a troll, chow. That's why I said it. So what was the sustained success that Real Madrid had with poor performances? What years? What trophies? See, this is the lengths people go to defend him. Champions League, what year? Sustained trophies. What year? Which Champions League? Because they won multiple. So you have to be more specific. Because we're going to pull up the year the Champions League run. So name the year. Trophies, by the way. Sustained success. So it's more than 1 year. And it's more than one trophy. It's trophies. So name the years, I should say. I should ask the question correctly. The latest one they run. Okay, and then what did they win before that or after that? Because the last one they won was... Hold up. Just making sure I got this right. What's the last one they won? The last one they won was 23-24. And then they didn't win one before that. The one before that was 22. So yeah, where's the sustained success? Because they won nothing the year before and they won nothing the year after. So where's the sustained success? Did they win a Copa del Rey? Make sure I got that right. I'll tell a lie. Yeah, they won the FA Cup. But we know what that is. Dying it for Real Madrid. So where's the sustained success? See managers win leagues there and get sacked. Don't worry, I'll wait. Nope, they didn't win the league as in between. Just double checked. They didn't. So that's not sustained success. You said their last Champions League, they won 23-24. They won a La Liga that year, yes. The last time they won the La Liga before that was 2 years before. And they won the Champions League since. So they won the Champions League 2 years before, and they won a La Liga 2 years before. So they won 23-24, and then 24-25, they died. They died. That's not sustained. Sustained means maintaining. If you're successful, then unsuccessful, that is not sustained. That's not sustained. What are we talking about here? That is not sustained. What are we doing? Continuing for an extended period or without interruption. They won nothing the year after. They won nothing the year before. That is not sustained success. Thoughts on the Ballon d'Or? Who won it? I don't really care about Ballon d'Or. I'm really not fussed. Because man lied, or they were winning La Ligas in between. No, they wasn't. This is my point. Sustained. The Dembele, yeah, rightfully so though. Dembele should have won it. Oh, that was right. That's the right move. He was the best. He was the best player last year. 110%. 110%. So back to it. I'll ask the question again. Sustained success. Name me a team that has been successful, sustained success with poor performances. Don't worry, I'll wait. I want my team to dominate. That's the aim. Dominate. First, rebuild and get there. And just to clarify, not dominate from now because we're not capable. No. I just want us to get the best out of what we have right now. Joseph. Hey, Joseph, you know it's not possible. I know it's not possible. But you got a man in the chat telling me they don't care about performances. But can't tell me a team that's had sustained success with poor performances. What are we doing? What is going on? Even Villarreal under Emery, I didn't watch him like that. But that's the way Emery played. Like he played defensive football. They're not defensively sound and a very good side. From a defense, they might not have been pretty to watch. But it is Villarreal. But then again, I watch him week in, week out, so I can't really comment like that. I'm looking there. Let me see. Now, Villarreal only won Europa League. 21. Yeah, against us. The one against us. What year was the sustained success? Tell me, AD. You said 2021. That wasn't no 2024. You said not the case because they didn't win anything 25 and they didn't win anything 23. Actually, they won a Copa del Rey 23. But we're talking big boy trophies. Don't spend all that money and buy Mbappe and all these type and Chouameni and Camavinga and Modric and Cruz and I know Holson wasn't there, but all these ballers to win FA Cups. The Copa del Rey, which is their version. So which year? Don't worry, I'll wait. Because you said 24. Nope. So what year was it that they had sustained success with poor performances? No one's asking you, Chow. No one's asking you. They've been winning in those Spanish trophies between kind of like Carabao Cup. No, they haven't. Copa del Rey is not good enough. What are we talking about? They've sacked managers for winning the league. Copa del Rey. My back foot. Sustained success. Should have listened then, y'all. So I'll answer it. I'll ask it again. 24. We're talking Prems. Sorry. We're talking La Ligas and Champs. That's what we're talking about with Real Madrid. I don't care for no Copa del Rey. Give me a break. Because if they just won Copa del Rey, they would sack managers left, right, and center. So sustained success with poor performances. You said 24, that's incorrect. They won nothing in 25, they won nothing in 2023. You can't listen and make food at the same time, Chow. I'm saying, come on, G, like, tell me the sustained success they had. Tell me. I'm waiting to hear an answer. All right. Tell me. Is it that you think the team can't get better with better players who can take care of the ball and be more clinical? Or if the players be more clinical, we won't be better? Is it you think the team can't better with players? Is it you think the team can't get better with better players who can? No, it's not, because it's not deemed success for them. That's why. Copa del Rey is not deemed as a success for them. Hence why they've sacked managers who have just won who have just won the league. Please do your research when talking about the likes of Real Madrid. Just do your research. What are we doing out here? What are we doing? And even on top of that as well, I even letting you twang me in that. What year was it? Let me actually double check. Let me make sure I got this right. Hold up. Because Real Madrid win the Champions League so much, you get teams mixed up. I'm just making sure I got it right. Because that wasn't the Benz team, was it? Wait, that was the... Wait, hold up. Let me just double check this. Who did they play in that final? Borussia Dortmund. Hold up. Let me see. One sec. Let me just jog my memory. Hold up. I was making sure. Wait. Final 23-24. Have they got the team? Wait. Courtois, Carvajal, Mendy, Nacho, Rudiger, Camavinga, Valverde. So that was the team with Bellingham box crashing with Vinicius one side and Rodrigo another. That wasn't a team performing poorly. Jason, I'm going to get to your question. What are we talking about here? That was not a team performing poorly. They was my pick to win the competition. What are we doing? They did not perform poorly in the year 23-24. What are we doing out here? That was the season where Bellingham was on smoke because he was the false nine and you had Vinicius one side and Rodrigo was the other side. What are we doing out here? And he had Camavinga and Cruz and Valverde. That's why they won a league and cup. That's why they won a Champions League and La Liga double. What are we doing? Was that not Ancelotti's swan song? Because I watched the hell of... Yeah, I did a lot of their games on the playback. That was not a team performing poorly. What are we doing? I'm just jogging my memory to make sure I'm correct in regards to who was managing. Yeah, it was Don Carlo. Yeah. They fell off last year, but 23-24, they was playing well. That was a team performing well. It wasn't the greatest on the eye, but they performed well. They knew what it was. Vinicius one side, Rodrigo the other. People were saying Vinicius was the best player in Europe at that point. Because did Rodri not win it that year? And it was a whole complaint. And yeah, Rodri won it because that's last year, wasn't it? All right, man. Okay. All right, man. All right. Okay. Sure. All right, man. Whatever, man. Whatever. What are we doing out here, man? See how man just be just straight waffling. All this for a manager who's not good enough. What are we doing out here? What the hell is going on out here? What are we doing? I just remembered that team and I was like, wait, that team performed well. People talking about, so you performing poorly, but you got, all right, man. Okay. People were saying he got robbed. He was the best player in Europe that year, in my opinion, to be honest. I don't know why they gave it to Rodri, but here we are. Tried to boycott that shit. What are we doing out here? What are we doing? Exactly. Conte, Juve, where Conte just sucks in Europe. That's all it is. Conte is just dreadful in Europe, so he's never going to do anything in Europe. He stinks. He's dreadful. I think he's won 3 knockout ties in his entire career or something like that. we doing out here? I bet if I go check that Juventus 2012 squad, it's like, yo, there's some ballers in there when they played well and did the deal and all this type of stuff. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Look at these reaches, man. Look where we're at. But it makes for entertaining conversation. Shit, Buffon was still playing these times. Yeah, he would have been. This is over 10 years ago. This man still had Pirlo. How old's Pirlo? Shit. This man still had Pirlo and that. Del Piero. Wait, is this the right squad? 20. Yeah, these man still. All right. Okay. Yeah. Everyone has bad games. Everyone has bad games. Yeah, Conte's record in Europe is horrendous. The closest team probably to do that was Sevilla about 10 years back, and they didn't even win the biggest trophies. If they did it in the champs, I'd hear it. They won Europa League. Where was we at? Anyway, let's get to this. Jason asks, is it that you think that the team can't get better with better players who can take care of the ball and be more clinical? Or if the players be more clinical, we won't be better? If we get better players, this is baffling me. I'm just trying to get my head around it. Better players. Yes, we can get better with better players. But under this manager, I don't think that we're capable of doing anything because he's a detriment to it all. He's the biggest issue at the football club in regards to on the field right now. Ownership stinks. Know that. Can't stand the Glazers. Ineos, when it comes to this managerial side of things, are absolutely god-awful. But he's the detriment to it. I can't get the best out of none of our best players. Offensively, midfield-wise, none of them. It's just Delete, Euro, Maz. That's it. And that's them being more... Because they're good defenders, and they can react to stuff, they're just going to... If I was managing, I think they perform to that level. Because that's just the base level that they're at. But I think a better manager gets more out of them through. So that's where it is. And I don't think... what was it? Or if the players be more clinical. Yeah, if that goes for any team, if any team's players are more clinical, they'll be better. Whoever you think the worst team in the league is, if they're more clinical, they'll be better. But hey, we move. Someone else asked me, let's see. Yeah, Conte a serial winner in Serie A, but his teams performed poorly. It's like, no, they didn't. They're defensively resolute, score goals, do what they have to do. But hey, we move. Yeah, man tried to tell me that Madrid side was poor. See how man just reach. Like they weren't one of the favorites going into the competition. They were my pick. Let's see what else. What else you lot are saying. But yes, with better players, yes, we could be better. But still not good enough. Because I think this team is good enough to go and get top 6. Yeah, let me say that again. I think the team is good enough to get top 6. I think the manager is a detriment to that. But I look at the team we have right now is good enough to get top 6. That's what I'm saying. Do we have some deficiencies? Yes. But I think defense, our midfield is obviously our biggest issue. But I think you can get a function in midfield and get the other pieces working. Get a defense working, get the attack working, and I think you'll be all right. Goalkeepers remain to be seen because I don't know anything about Lamens. I don't know nothing about him. So that's what I'm saying. I look at our back four with, let's say our back four is Dorgu, Delit, Euro, Maz. Cool. Our front three is Bremo, Sesko, Cunha. Our midfield trio is Casemiro, Maino, Bruno. I think that's good enough to get top 6 in this league. Is it the best individuals? No. But it's good enough to get top 6. I watched Arne Slot win a Premier League with players that people didn't think was good enough. Granted, they have some top quality players, yes, and I'm not saying go win the league, but he overperformed. His midfield options when he joined was Gravenberch, McAllister, Shabazlai, Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones. Nobody thought that was a Champions League, a Premier League winning level midfield. Nobody. Their forward line was Salah. Salah's a bad boy. R.I.P. Diogo Jota every single time. Nunes, Gakpo, Chiesa. That's not an attack that people thought was good enough to win a Premier League. Some people think Kanate is overrated and Robertson's finished. So it was just Van Dijk and Trent can't defend. That was the conversation. It was Robertson and Shimaka's are not good enough. Trent can't defend. Connor Bradley's young. Kanate is overrated. Joe Gomez is always injured. Kwanzaa's not good enough. Van Dijk and Alisson are the main two. So how did Slot get it to work? And you go lower down the league and you see teams where it's either their defense, their midfield, their attack, or a combination of the two where you go, that's not all that on paper. It's not all that on paper. Not in the slightest. There's not all that in the slightest on paper. You go back and check teams. It's not exceptional, but the manager did what he was supposed to. I did what he was supposed to. Got the most out of what he had. Bear in mind, Slot wanted Zubimendi. He wanted a midfielder. Take the top four out of it from last season: Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Spurs, Forest. Someone tell me Forest's team. They finished 17th the season before. Yates, Christie, Alanga, Chris Wood, Hudson-Odoi. All right, cool. Fast. All right, what are we talking about here? Brighton, same. Like, they don't have, outside of Belieber, there's no one that really gets talked about in their side like that. No one that really gets talked about. Who the Brighton players that are extremely sought after and people rate highly? Someone tell me. Outside of Belieber, what other Brighton players get spoken about in a highlight? So that's Forest. That's Brighton. Bournemouth finished 9th. I don't rate none of Bournemouth's attackers outside of Semenyo. And people didn't rate their defense before last season. João Pedro being one, yeah. João Pedro, Vikrin, that's it. It's João Pedro, Belieber, and that was it. That's 9. That just went 7, 8, and 9. And then you've got 5 and 6, Newcastle and Villa are not out this season, but that's a whole different conversation. And I disagree with this. Liverpool have a foundation that was built since Brendan Rodgers' times. It's easier for coaches when your team has a base foundation of principles. That was not the conversation, Kingdom. When Slot went there, that was not the general consensus of the conversation. Who had Liverpool winning the league outside of Liverpool fans? That's not just because he did what he did. Now it's like, all right, no. Nobody rated Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai as a top midfield. Nobody looked at that and went, that's Premier League winning. It was conversations about them. I had them 3rd that season. Plenty of people had them 4th. Plenty of people had them outside of the top 4 and they was finished without Klopp. Look at their team. It's not good enough. So just because we won the league, I'm not going to forget about the conversation that happened before them. Been saying this. Get the most out of what you have. And that's what our manager, to bring it back to Manchester United, is currently not doing. Get the most out of what you have. And his manager does not. And that's where my issue lies. That wasn't a convo, but their team had been competing for years at that point. It was dumb to think they just fall off a cliff. Fall off a cliff, yeah, but you didn't have them winning the league is the point. That's the point I'm making. That's the exact part of the conversation I want people to understand. That team, if it would have finished 3rd or 4th, people wouldn't have been surprised. Not fall off a cliff, that was daft. But who had them winning the league? Barely anybody. Their team on paper, what their team's midfield and attack on paper was not it. Because we wouldn't take that at that time. Before the season started, if you would have been offered, like, yo, your midfield trio is going to be Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai with Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones backing it up, no one's taking that 5. Who's taking? This is the 5 you need, and you have to use these 5 to go win the Premier League. And then the attack is Salah, again, RIP, Jota, Nunez, Gakpo, and Chiesa. I remove Jota because he's passed. So I just go Salah, Nunez, Chiesa, Gakpo. Who's taking that 5? Those 2 5s I've just mentioned, who's taking those 5s? If I would have said, hey, rate this 5. No, rate the starting 3s, rate the 5s. Would have been low. People don't rate Harvey Elliott. People don't rate Curtis Jones like that. People didn't rate Gravenberch before Slot's done what he's done with him. People didn't rate McAllister like that. They thought he was a good player, but that was it. People don't rate Nunez. People don't rate Gakpo. People don't rate Chiesa. Diaz is the other one. People don't rate Diaz. Szoboszlai. What are we doing? People don't rate Robertson, Shimikas. Well, he got the most out of what he had. And they ended up winning the league. That's the point. Because if you give Amorim that team, they ain't winning the league. Yeah, they was calling Mo Salah washed. Why do Amorim winners think that was Amorim out as expect us to win the league instantly? If we hire the manager who gets back-to-back wins, then already an improvement. You know why, Johnny? Because they don't have anything of substance to back up their argument. So they have to go to extremes. Like, oh, you want perfect football? Who said that? Oh, we've been bad for a number of years previously. Yes, there's nothing to do with what we're talking about now. Oh, you want this, you want that. Oh, it's results over performances. Since when? And we don't get results because he wins 25% of his games. On average, he wins 1 game a month in the last 6 months. He won 1 game in January. He won 1 game in February. These are Premier League matches. Won 1 game in March. Won 1 game in April. Won 1 game in May. He's won 1 in August, and he's currently won 1 in September. Premier League-wise, I'm talking about people. So January, February, March, April, May, August, September. There's been 7 months. And he's won 7 Premier League games in 7 months. What results? What results? The thing is, they completely forget his good performances bring good results. Exactly, Johnny. Because this is why I was saying, show me a team that performs good consistently, that doesn't get good results. Big up VO says, flawless. I think Amorim will turn it around and prove you wrong. I have no evidence of this. I just know he will. See, I appreciate comments like this, VO. You know why? Because it's just honest. That's why. It's just I like this because it's just honest. I don't even know who you support, VO, but this is I rate. Whether you're trolling or not, I rate this. I wish people were just honest like this. Yeah, you know what? Call me a United fan. I just want him to turn it around. And I go, you know what? Cool. It's when people try to bring me logic behind it. When there's nothing behind it substance-wise. Hence why all these people who were arguing me down all summer long disappeared. Bear in mind, I have a fan calling show that I do every week. Even though I didn't do it this week because I had to move this show to this time. But these people never call in. There's a handful of them. My guy, I forgot his name. He's probably at the game as well. Big up my guy, Sean. Big up TikTok. I don't actually know his name. Addicted to United. There's a couple others. Put it this way. Less people have called in than Amorim has wins. Like Amorim wins 1 Premier League game a month. It's less than 1 time a month people call in to say who have all this much to say. Because my God, if we would have won, Lord of mercy. My God. It is. Hey, AD, fan calling shows. Well, it's not today, but it's normally every Monday, 10:30 p.m. UK time. Or actually, wait, scratch that. 11 p.m. UK time. I don't know where you're at. Feel free to call in, AD. I'm always up to hear the opposing side and debate whatever. So, AD, let me ask you, where do you have United finishing this season? Where did you have us before the season, and where do you have us now? 2 questions in one. Let me know. Shit, where's the thing? Oh, it's at the top. There we go. No, to Jason, I don't think we beat Brentford. Now, I'm not doing a fan calling show today. I had to move this show to here. Yeah, what are we doing? Yeah, what is going on? Before I said, no, child, not you. I literally said AD. All right, so what changed? So it was third or fourth. Now I'm thinking fifth or sixth. What changed inside 5 games, AD? Tell it to me. What changed? Because why has it gone? Why in 5 games, 6 if you include Grimsby, has it gone from third or fourth to fifth or sixth? Tell me. And to answer the question, draw. I think we'll draw against Brentford. 1 apiece. Beat Sunderland, and then we'll get packed up in the 4 games after the international break and he'll get sacked. That's what I think will happen. So that's what I want to know. So why are you surprised that Sesko ain't scoring? What made you think Sesko was going to come here and bag goals? What made you think the manager was going to play him? So this is it. So you had us third or fourth, and now you've got us fifth or sixth because Sesko ain't scoring. And Onana's not played this season. Like, what's going on? What are we doing? And now we still short of 50 likes. I just want to know what the changes in the drop. Is that it? So those 2 things is the reasons why. I thought he would work with Cunha and Brian. I didn't know Bernardes. Why did you not know you? Okay. So you thought that Bruno wasn't going to play in the pivot and we signed. So who did... This is why I get confused. So you thought Sesko was going to come in and play goals. We signed them Bremo and Cunha. So if you didn't know Bruno was going to play in the pivot, where did you think he was going to play? There's 4 players for 3 positions. I said draw against Chelsea, Jason. Please explain to me this. I'm lost. I don't get this. Where else was he going to play? Bear in mind, you know AD in the summer like I do, that, or maybe you don't, but I'm presuming you do, that we had this offer for Bruno and the manager begged him to stay. So you thought we was going to sign him Bremo for 70 million and bench him. That's what you thought. So you thought Sesko and Bremo and Cunha was all going to join. We was going to bench him Bremo, and Cunha and Bruno was going to be in the pivot with Sesko up top. You didn't think this, AD. You didn't think this. I refuse to believe it, man. You didn't think this. No, you didn't think this, man. You didn't think this, man. You didn't think this. Sesko, I hear it. And Bremo's a high-profile player. Sesko is not. That's the difference. Why did I know that Sesko wasn't going to play and the manager didn't want him? But in Bremo, we knew that the manager was going to play. You ain't tripping. You've fallen and can't get. Let me. So we was going to sign Embremo, sign Cunha, sign Sesko, but we was going to bench Embremo and play Sesko up top with Bruno and Cunha in the 10s. Yo, I quit. I quit, people. I quit. Let me just wrap this shit up. I quit. I'm done, man. I'm done. It's over, man. I quit. Giving the channel to Jez and Steven Surfer, and I'm out, people. I'm out. Let's get the show back on the road. Let's get this show back on the road, man. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, what is going on, man? What is happening, yo? What is going on? What is happening, you know? Like, ah, my lord. All right, man. Right. We got if. Right, okay. All right. Yeah. This is just what I have to contend with. Like, this is it. Like, when people act like this is genuinely like the stuff I've heard in the chat, the stuff certain people have said in fan calling shows, and I'm just like, all right, whatever in it. Like, okay. All right, man. Yeah. Okay. Right, we're redirecting to the Bayesian show anyway, people. We're redirecting over there to the Bayesian show. We're heading over there. Kingdom, my opinion on the main also, what about in regards to what, like, you just mean him not playing? Manager's an idiot. That's what it is, but he's not his type of player. That's it. And just to clarify, because I can't believe I have to explain this to people, like, rumors and reports mean things. Let me say this again. Rumors and reports mean things. So, with Embremo, we was linked to him all summer long, chased him down. He's a high-profile player, and he's big money. Here's why him benching Sesko is not a surprise to me. There was no links for us with Sesko. Zero. Everybody knows Manchester United needed a striker. We were chasing a striker. We was looking for a striker from this jump. Remember, we went in for Delap. Remember, we was linked into Gyökeres as well. There was no Sesko was heading Arsenal. There was no conversations of Sesko whatsoever. And then it was out the blue. Manchester United are linked to him. We offered him We offered him personal terms. We made a bid to Leipzig. We ended up signing him. And then also what's the indication of Sesko is when the manager didn't play him against, didn't play him against Arsenal on the opening day. I was like, yeah, he's not. Bear in mind, Sesko was not match fit, but he played preseason games for Leipzig. He played preseason games for Leipzig. And then even on top of that, people, even if you think Sesko was going to play, why all of a sudden was he going to score goals? Why? Based off of what, that Sesko was going to come here and bag a load of goals. I didn't want Sesko. Bear in mind, he's not been given a fair opportunity, but I had my reservations. And just, I say all that to say this, people. This is why he's gone from 3rd to 4th or 5th to 6th. But yeah, AD, feel free to call him. I'm sure Prime will clip that, because you lot will tell him. Tell Prime you lot at him and all that. Give him the timestamps and all this nonsense. Because we switch it over to the Bayesian show. I think legit you lot are trying to kill me. I think this club and people back in Amarim are legit trying to put me in the ground. I think it's a hit. I think I trolled too much. People are like, yo, let's just get this guy out of here. Because the stuff out here is ridiculous. Because that's not crazy. Is you was it Chef said something like that as well? Yeah, Amarim does, because if we would have signed Gyökeres, he would have played against Arsenal. He would have played against Fulham. He would have played against Burnley. So that's going to only get minutes because Martin Cunha were injured. But whatever, man. We closing out, people. We heading over to the Bayesian show. Run up the likes. Hit the subscribe button. This has been the ManDem United podcast live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.